You really need to slow down the fight. Go ahead.
So, so proper recovery in what you were just displaying is basically the sweet spot of the stick coming back over your shoulder instead of just a halfway.
It can be either way, whatever you're comfortable with, but what it has to do is it has to come back to the starting point. So if you're a forward fighter like I am, okay, I can't throw it and then do this. I need to bring it back to my starting point, okay? And I can bring it here behind me, like you said, kid, if I want, because I do throw from here as well, but the majority of my starting position is here, okay? And that's what we need to get to, okay? Here's another drill that Sean doesn't teach. Stand here, please. All right. I do teach this one, okay? Taught this one for years. It's called the still mind and still hand. Still hand, still mind. Still hand, still mind. Effectively, what this equates to is Masashi says that you must empty yourself, okay? All right. I'm not a tree hugger, guys. But there's stuff going on in this activity that they're spiritual. That's the best way to explain it. It's something more than what you currently are. And that's the only other way I know how to explain it. So, what happens is when we have a still mind and a still hand, you'll feel the tension, the energy in you. Okay? Tension can be good and it can be bad. It's how you control it. So, you have this force in you. Masashi talks about striking a man with your will. Killing a man. Killing a man with the energy that's in you. Striking him with your will. We talk about it in modern terms from a competitive standpoint in sports of taking their heart, breaking their will, that kind of thing. That's essentially what they're talking about doing. So many fighters, because they don't do all these things that we talked about, and you'll see it today when we fight. They don't understand the target. They haven't spent enough time doing these drills. They haven't spent enough time getting the tell. So we go there and go ahead and give you the flat snap to the head. So say, okay, well there's the flat snap. Now how am I going to figure out the angle? Now that's an exaggeration, but that much movement, eternity. I mean that is a huge tell for an advanced fighter. They see that he's going to break off the contact. He's going to recontrol the range, or he'll move to block that. Now, you can do that as a sucker play, where I go ahead and I give you that motion and you move and lock it just a little bit. Bang! All right? Now, I created that shot, but that was by design. Most fighters are not like that. They don't have still minds, and if you just empty all the garbage out of your head, continue when I'm fighting, I don't hear anything, I don't see anything other than my opponent. I'm oblivious to the world around me, guys. People all the time screaming my name, Felix, Felix, Felix! My wife, I've been calling you for 5 minutes! I mean, I get it all the time in the backyard when I'm training guys. I'm fighting. There's nothing else that exists right now. So, we don't move the hand. So what it is we're there, and it's explosion. Whatever it is that you're going to do, okay? We don't cheat, we don't, no. Bang. And what happens is when you do that, do you think it's easier to block something as far as if it kind of starts, you see that this is the other one, I don't think you need to do it anymore. The fighters, they kind of let the shot unfold, but they kind of throw it and they stop and throw it again. That's the only way I can explain it. Do that. You guys see there? All right. Do you think it's easier to block that, or do you think it's easier to just block that? I mean, if something's going from 0 to 100, it's much more difficult to block than if something is at the 20, something to 50, and 75, and 5 to 100. So, what that is that specifically, you really need 2 people for that. One person's job is to sit under the tree and drink martinis or beer or Mai Tai or whatever it is. And all you do, and I do it with guys that got a clicker. Got a dog clicker. Dog. They move, hand click. I hate that friggin' clicker. I know, but this beer's cold. Give me another one. You know, we're going to be here all day until you can get 10 of them right. You know, you would be really amazed. I mean, that's a simple, stupid little Pavlovian thing, but it works and it annoys people because they don't want to hear that clicker. They don't want to hear it. What is that thing go? Not move the hand. You're going. Okay, that's it. Once I can get the hand still, the mind enters. The hand's the key. Because what it is you'll see that hand move because there's so much math going on. I mean, those gears are turning. They're trying to figure out the angle, and what they're doing is what's going back and forth. And what it is it's translated into body motion. You'll see people, okay? And I always laugh because you watch guys, and Bronis and Ronald are both a master of this, making people feel uncomfortable with their skin. And all he did was do this. He didn't do nothing. He moved his feet 4 inches, and they're going, ah! You know, he's going to come over here and take my dog and get all my food on my fridge. And not like me. You move 4 inches, guys, okay? You didn't move at you. You just move. But what it is he's creating that bad tension in you that's creating all, you know, you're getting all ramped up. You're going, ah! And you're getting tighter, and you're tired. You haven't done anything. You're So that's what's going on in the fight, all right? Go ahead.
How do you throw an offside shot without moving your hand before the goal?
Well, I'll show you. Happen to know that. All right, guess where it comes from? In the ball! Doing slower, doing training. But, because I do the sucky part, what do I get to do? Oh, so I can throw in a shot. So, watch yourself, because I might hit you.
I'm just going to put the sword out.
I just say, put it up, because I don't want to. All right. All right, that's all it is. That's all it is. Okay. And I might have moved a little bit on that, but I'm trying not to hit bigger. That's what I want to do right there. That's all it is. Come from here, come from the earth, guys. And where you're going to learn that is the more you hit the pedal, you're going to say, well, that didn't feel right. Well, you know, well, you're going to try different things with your feet and your hips. Okay? And we're going to talk about one of the drills. We're talking about where all the power comes from. We haven't gone through any of this stuff yet. I just need to get your minds right. So this information that we're going to give you, you'll actually spend a time to employ. Because if I don't give you all this boring backstory where I talk, you don't see the value, and so you don't want to execute any of these things. It's just like you're not going to train if you're not going to have success. It's just like professional fighters. They hate training camp. They don't want to go to training. Training stinks. Running 8 miles a day, doing 8,000 push-ups and a day. That's terrible. No one wants to do that. I mean, I work out every day. But I don't want to work out. I work out because if I don't work out, then I can't do all this other stuff that I want to do. So I'm selfish. That's why I work out. It's the same thing for training. You have to do it. Okay. We talked about still hand, still mind. We talked about the clicker thing. Bell is perfect. You will screw up. Allow yourself to screw up. It's okay. It's okay, guys. Screwing up is okay. It's just when it's pointed out. Just work to correct that. That's and all that stuff. So we talked about the 1 through 6 drill. We talked about the still hand, the still mind. All right, Zygmunt, come back here again. You know what? Kith, why don't you come here, buddy, because I know you know this. And grab a sword and shield. And it. Yeah. I'll be right-handed today. This, you can employ this a couple different ways. I don't, does Sean have, for the 2-second drill, does he have his guys do it live? I've only seen him do it on the Pel.
No, we didn't do it live.
Okay. 2-second drill is also a Pel drill, but I employ it on a one-on-one training session. And what it is this is what you'll have. We talked about fighters that start to achieve success try to race to the next shot. So what this drill directly revolves around is actually control on your shot, so it helps you have better shot selection and better targeting, which is delivery. Okay? So, called the 2-second drill. New fighters are the opposite. New fighters will go ahead and get there, and they'll see that, hang on, I'm going to show them. They'll say, okay, so show me the flat snap. I'm going to flat snap to the head, okay, so give me that target so I can strike. So drop your shield, okay. So what they'll do is the new fighter will say, well, there it is. It coincides with the still hand and still knife. No kind of. All right, then you say, well, he's going to flat that, so go ahead and block that. They go, oh, look, he moved it there. They didn't even throw a shot. You see, new people do that all the time. Or against people that they no longer have the confidence level against. You can have a very experienced fighter come out against something like bronze or admin or Ducis or something like that. Oh, he figured my secret shot out. And they won't throw it, even though the shot's there. If I throw that, I'm going to die. So just throw it. Commit to the shot. Bang. All right, and this is what we're talking about, committing to the shot. You blocked a big deal. Guess what? You didn't run out of ammo. You got more. Woo! Another one. You're telling you, 6 shots. Like, throw a pistol at him next round. No. It's not, weapons from the 50s. You make these all day. So, what happens is we're all just shot. This 2-second drill is new people must throw at least 1 shot every 2 seconds. Throw, however it is you want to employ that, okay? An experienced fighter cannot throw more than 2 shots in 1 second. So this is what experienced fighters do. All right, there was no recovery, there was no shot selection, there was no targeting, nothing. They just threw all that stuff down that we talked about. They threw it on the ground and said, I will throw mud until he magically decides to go like this and allow me to kill him. All right? That's terrible. That's not fighting. That's something else. No, that's not fighting. So, that's the 2-second drill, guys. Okay? You can coincide this with what we call slow work, all right? Where we have just like, and you need to be a good training partner, okay? You need to allow yourself to be able to be struck. And this is where we come back to training environments and these things. All right, you have to trust your training partners. Okay, so that means that Kip knows that I'm not going to go and crack it because we're just wearing helmets. All right, we're just doing this. Now, you will do this in armor. Okay, over time, and it gets faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So it becomes more and more and more just like full speed sparring. Notice I didn't say training. Sparring. See, notice training method that's used in a sparring. So, what happens is we line up, okay? And what we do is we talk about lethal targets and non-lethal targets. For this drill, I am the instructor, you're the student, okay? So that means, as the instructor and as the student, you're going to throw, I'm going to block, and then you're going to throw again, okay? So, he's going to look at lethal targets and non-lethal targets. Now, I'm being a good training partner, and I'm exaggerating the opening.
Pardon me a second. Would you take a half step forward? There you go. I'm going to take out the decoration.
Okay. So, what targets are presented? Yes. Okay. So that's a non-lethal. Do you have any lethal targets that are presented? Okay. What's better, guys? If we have a choice between a non-lethal and a lethal target, you wouldn't believe that how many people are programmed to always hit the leg or always hit the arm, or I could have him block, okay? He's not getting that offside, guys. Oh, they throw it. They're going to throw the offside, aren't they? Because they just got to hit it. And that comes from throwing combination, guys. Because they got this amazing 5-shot combo that's just going to win them every single thing that they ever wanted to win. Well, what happens when you block the first shot and I throw you out of your rhythm? Well, you're not fighting anymore. You're trying to figure out how your 5-shot combo didn't work, and that's all you know how to throw is the 5-shot combo because you spent the last 18 months training the 5-shot combo. However, I don't train that way. I hit what's available to me, so if I throw and he blocks it, I know, okay, well, what about this one? Oh, well, hey, that worked. There's no combo in there. But because I train how to hit any part of the body in any order, I can adapt. I can adapt my plan. I'm not committed to a set of actions that confine me and don't allow me to maximize my fighting ability. So, what we're doing is this is the throw, block, throw drill. Okay, so go ahead and throw, block, okay, throw again. What's the next target available? Okay. Now you see how I didn't move and recover back? And I'm doing that, and then what will happen is as we do this, I'll throw again. Okay. And I'll start to recover. Okay. And we'll start speeding this up. And then what it does is it allows him to step. Now, I forgot one thing. We don't move around when we do this. That's a different drill. The point of this is to stand still and work on the targeting that we have, okay, and our recovery. Okay. So he's working on a lot of things here. So he's working on his range. He's working on his shot selection. He's working on his delivery. He's working on his recovery. Making sense now, isn't it? All those things I talked about in the beginning, I'm kind of beating himself. I just want to point that out in case anybody. So, okay, see, now I'm working on the defensive things. I'm working on those targets, but I am being a good partner. Okay, that was a poor selection. Okay, you have the flat snap back here. Okay, so you went for a non-lethal target. And that's my job as the instructor, saying, yup, okay, you made that selection. That was a good selection, but it wasn't the best selection. Okay, we're trying to get lethal targets if we can. Good, good. Good. Good, good. And you'll do that over and over and over and over and over again. This isn't something that you just spend 3 or 5 minutes on. Galen, the traveler, who is Duke Stevens' squire, but I train him often, he comes over, and we filmed a session. We fought for 4 hours. But out of that, I mean, we have what was considered a 4-hour, fighting session. We trained for 3 hours and 30 minutes of that. So we did this drill alone for probably 30, 35 minutes, just he and I. Okay? That kind of gives you some perspective of what's going on. Now, as you do this more, it's going to go quicker, all right? And you're going to get more and more out of it. But by doing this, what that does is all the time you hear, I was like, hey, I got nothing out of you, Felix. I can't hit anything. Well, if you really look at it, I mean, sitting there, guys, you can see all kinds of stuff on it. But what's happening is we're breaking it down. We're slowing it down. At full speed, it looks a lot different. But if you understand the fundamentals of it at a slower speed, that allows you to see the fight at a much more rapid rate. And that's what we're trying to do. We're just shortening that sequence up for you. Okay. So what other drills did I miss? Which one here? Oh, here's a good one. I love this one. Love this one. Because it's really, it's an offense and it's a defense, but it's mostly defensive-oriented drill. Okay. Sean's mean. He makes people do this, learn it like 10 blows at a time. I not 10 and nothing at any time. All right? So I shorten it up, and I do guys 3 to 5 at a time. But what happens is this is what we do. You ready? You know what I'm getting ready to do. But we're gonna start slow with them. Okay, we're gonna throw 3 first. Okay. All right, I'm gonna throw 3 shots at him. He's slow. He's got to recite back to me. Remember what we talked about? When we fight, what we're going to see is we're going to see up, down, left, right. That's what we'll see every single time in the fight. It'll either be up or down. So that's what we'll recognize first. And be left or right. So, for example, this is upper left. That's his upper left. It's right to me, but we're going to have him recite from his perspective, not mine. Okay. So that's an upper left. Okay. Now I'm not going to say it anymore. You just got to remember and recite it back. uncomfortable he was? You see how much, he's a smart guy, and you see how much he had to think about that? Okay. When this is happening at full speed, you think about how that gives people problems. This is why people freeze and they miss shots and they get hit. So if you're used to this and you're used to thinking about things in this perspective, you can recognize the shots that are coming at you and start reciting them back. All you're doing is you're increasing your mouth rate. This is what you're doing. Okay. I make guys do 5 of them. Is what I do. Ready? I will be able to do 10 by the end of the year, but I can't do 10. You need to practice. You need to practice this, guys. You need to practice this. This is invaluable. And these are just simple little drills. You do these drills, you spend an hour in just a helmet or sword shield or pole arm or spear, and you're going to get more out of it than if you go out and fight for 6 hours in the backyard. Again, it's not one or the other. It's both. Okay. We're going to move the rest of this real quick. I'm going to get you guys out of here.